Tampering with Project Omega is forbidden. You will be terminated. Initiate Unibeam attack.
Assist me! Thor is down!
I do not like the sound of that.
Would give the holder almost unlimited power.
Not almost.
Heimdall! Aid me now! Ooh, is it getting hot in here?
So what's going on, man? What's the news? I heard a little something. People saying that they the word is that they want the damage buff to be gone, man. Is that true?
Oh my goodness. I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope it's just a rumor.
That was the rumor that was going around the mill today.
Ugh. Ugh. How do you feel about that, man?
It did not land kindly.
Man, most of the characters are, you know what I'm saying, for you to get high proficiency for your character to do the most damage, you need the damage buff. I'm saying, otherwise, like Abomination, Taskmaster, these characters, it's going to take even longer to kill them. If the damage buff is nerfed, I don't know, I don't know, I feel like you're taking a very high portion of the game away.
Well, I mean, just on the Omega level threats. I mean, how do you make it through a mission like that?
With no damage buff. Really? Really?
With no damage buff.
And these Reddit users talking about, oh, take damage buff away, take battery effect away. Oh yeah, so we can spend 2 hours trying to kill this dude.
So
you're a real genius. Real genius.
So Reddit users are saying that we should take it away. Is that
yes. Battery damage and damage buff needs to go away.
Why is that? Why do you think they would say something like that? That don't make no sense.
Because maybe they don't know how to build, and they don't like when other people have strong builds.
Right. Exactly.
Or maybe
none of that makes sense.
I don't see enough clearance. I just don't see the benefit to that. Like, I mean, it's not like any of these enemies are easy. They're like, you don't breeze through a lot of the guys. I mean, unless, you know, you're playing with low level players. You know, so like how it's even a factor to consider in the game is just beyond me.
So what are these Reddit users saying, man? Can you read? You got anything? What are they saying? Did they say why damage buff needs to be taken away, or?
They're saying it's a crutch and it's overpowered, and that it needs to be nerfed or just put on exotics, which is stupid. And the exotics are already underwhelming. And the fact that you roll in with 4 people with no damage buff and fight the Adaptoid, I want to see how well you do. I want to see it.
So you think that they're not testing their build, huh?
No, because I mean, you're going to go in against some shielded enemies and be like, man, he's got a lot of health and he's tanky. Well, now, why aren't you eating through? Because you said you wanted battery damage to go away and damage buff, and now you can't kill him. Why not? I don't have enough damage. And whose fault is that?
Man, for real.
I mean, I do run across a lot of players that, you know, that try to leave the game, you know, if they can't beat it on the first try, or, you know, recheck the point if they miss.
Or you're doing more damage than them?
Oh yeah, they want to leave because you're doing more damage. I have run across that before. Is that y'all's experience in the game?
Yep.
Yes,
I have.
Most definitely.
You start cleaning through a mission, people get like, oh, come on, man. I've even had friends do it.
So they just because their build's not strong enough, they just want to quit, or they want you to carry them through it to get their exotic?
No, they don't. They're not satisfied with, you know, their kills or their character. You know, the guys that put the work in and get these things and put them together. That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah, and I had few intimidation scares to, like, when they see my champion 375, they'll just leave.
They don't want to play with you.
Nope. Yeah, they're like, yeah, he's way too high. Like, man. And then
I
you
played
know
with a
that's
level 1 Hulk.
right.
Oh, it's brutal.
That don't
I'm telling
sound
you.
that don't sound like they should do that though. I mean, you would think if they have a lower power level, they would want to hang with you. You know what I mean? To
Some
You
do.
get XP regardless.
so you can make it to
Yeah.
the end. You know?
Right, yeah, some do. I had a few be like, man, help me. I'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they got the game kind of clutch too, to where some missions we can't play together if you're a low power level.
Right. That would be anyway, though. You know, they should try to. I mean, I get maybe there's not enough players online. They just want the games to be set up, but it comes down to actually setting up games. Like especially like mega level threats. Like you're really gonna put you're gonna put me in with a 57 power 57. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they
Have
had.
any of y'all ever been in a room and y'all, as strong as y'all are, and then you do roll with like a 14 or 15, and all your stats have changed? Like you feel weaker. Like
Yeah,
Yes,
my
I
health.
feel
Yeah, the
nerfed.
health. Yeah, the
Yep.
health will go
Yeah.
down. Yeah, like I'm
And then
playing
I'll
with
quit.
right. Like everybody I'm playing with now is powerful. So my
Yeah.
health bar, I got like 8 or 9 health bars. If I go play
Yep.
with a level 11, they'll put me down to like 2.
They take your stats away.
Yep.
Right.
so, they try to
Damage
make.
is damn near nothing.
Which shouldn't even be a thing. If I work hard for a build, why are you nerfing me when I play with other players? I don't understand that.
Yep. Why are you nerfing me? Yep.
The players I play with are supposed to see how strong I am, not see that you nerf me with them.
Uh-huh.
So what are the type of things that they're saying?
Well, they're saying that damage buff is crutch, and then if you use it, you're basically lazy.
So you're lazy
Lazy.
because you farm? Is that what they're challenging?
Because you farm and make a build, and you put damage buff in there to amplify your build. So they basically saying that you rely on it, and it's a crutch, and basically your build is not good without it. Which is, I don't believe that, because my build is strong even without damage buff.
So what
Seriously?
happens to the people that like don't use damage buff or rely on that? Or what happens to the people that don't even know what damage buff is?
Then they're missing out.
There's a lot of people in the player base that doesn't even, they come in and play and then get championship points, but don't really know what the fine tune is to the gear. So what happens to them? You got to punish them because they don't know what it is, and you got to take it away. What's up with that?
Yeah, man. The way they got it, man. I don't know if it's the veteran or if it's the younger players that's to the game. I don't know, like, who is having the real issue with it. Because veterans, yeah, we know about it, and I'm pretty sure they using it right way. But then the new players, maybe they don't know exactly how to use it or something. Or like you said, if they feel like it's a crutch, then won't you just change your build and take it off your character?
Thank
So
you.
you think these Reddit users that do you think these Reddit users that basically played, they maybe couldn't beat the OLT at the end, couldn't beat the super adaptoid, or couldn't even make it through it, and and maybe
And
saw a Thor fly by and one shot him, and then just said it was unfair?
Because he worked hard to make his build strong and got the pieces and the perks in the right spot and farm comics. So you mad now?
right, yeah,
What?
Or you didn't build your character right,
uh-huh.
and it doesn't do what you want it to.
It's not-
You got any points? You got any quotes from any of the people that were saying it, or what they were saying directly?
Well, and correlation, they was like, do you? It was like, if basically if you think damage buff is balanced, there's something wrong with you. But damage buff is required for end game builds to beat the adaptoid. So you want to roll in and fight the adaptoid for 2 hours with no damage buff and just your skills, and try to chip away at his health. The dude is heavily armored. Are you serious?
Man, I'm telling you. And then with the longer the battle holds out against the Adaptoid, is the more that people is gonna go down. If we went in that battle with no damage buff at all, you know what I'm saying, or no status damage, everybody dies.
I agree with that.
Everybody dies. There,
It
that's a
is
good
a
one.
it
Oh,
is a comma. It
except
is a
you know,
kamikaze.
that's and then I think that that's where it comes to a team effort because like I don't run off damage. You guys know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm got nothing but defense. So I rely on y'all to do the punching. You know what I mean? To take them down, and I'll take all the little things out as a support character, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of damage to kill me. I mean, literally, it takes a lot of shit to kill me. But that's one reason why the group works because I have y'all to do the heavy hitting, and then me just in case. You know what I mean? Just in case we
Yeah.
have like a 20,000 Valor Thor and 900 and he goes down. Brown.
Right.
Yeah. Down again.
Right.
Down.
Thor's
Prepare
down.
Down go Frazier.
I
Down
hope you
go
put some
Frazier.
defense on this room. I'll tell you that.
Oh yes, I did. Oh yes, I did.
You'll get one of them little frosty bots that one shot and say you thought you were good.
Oh my god. It is I'm not even gonna lie. It is nothing. There's nothing better in the world to see a Thor go down right like once he walks through the portal, and then he's like down. He gets one shot by that little machine or the adaptor in there, and he's just down. And you're like, God damn it, you know. But when you look at it, you're like, I hope. That means if he died real quick, and you're like, okay, then that means his Valor's really high. We can one shot the Adaptoid at the end, right? You know what I mean? That's what you're thinking, right? That's like
They don't give you that, time to kind of like change anything before you go into him. So like the mission, you need one thing, and then going into him, you need something completely different.
so.
They supposed to do loadouts though.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Yeah.
You guys are worried about what it already has and what you want to take away, and the game's still missing stuff.
So this is what I hate. Okay, this is exactly what I hate. So you see a Thor go down right in the beginning, right, and then you see his championship level really high. You know he got to have some type of punch, and then we're playing through it, and then we get to the two. What is the two robots? There's like another Adaptoid and a big one right in the elevator before you go and fight the Super Adaptoid. Before you do the numbers, those two of them.
Yes.
Then you see the Thor fly right up to him, and he does a green Bifrost, or he does something that is like no damage. Like you're like what, like what the hell? You're supposed to damage him, and he doesn't do no damage because he doesn't have a damage buff, or he doesn't have the North Stone on, and then you're
build.
yeah. So then you're basically man. Now you know this is gonna be a long fight.
Yeah. Yep, it's gonna be a rough day in Denmark.
So I think when the guy says that a damage buff, like they shouldn't be there. I think it's something that he hasn't grind, because like I played against the Super Adaptoid probably 300 times at least. I know where he's gonna turn left. I know how to get around his beams and everything. But I have died a lot to get to that point to become so good fighting him. I don't think it's fair for the people that fought him that many times to go through the OLT that many times to, you know what I mean, to take that away from them because they have a good build and other people say, hey, I should be able to beat them quicker. I don't think that's fair to them.
Right. Yeah, man, because I done had people, we get to the end and then they die one time, they'll just quit. And the team will just start dropping like flies. And then I'll be there alone. Like I said, I beat the Adaptoid alone. And it took me about 20 tries, but I finally had got him.
And it feels worth it when you do beat him, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That is a feat in itself.
I've beaten the Adaptoid by myself, but with the way my build is, it took me a good 10 minutes. I'm not even gonna lie. But I did it by chopping them down. I did it by chopping down, but I had to use a Hulkbuster. There's different ways to beat the Adaptoid when you do it. It might have took me 10 to 15 minutes to do it. I chopped them down, but I see the point where people don't, if they can't do a lot of damage, let's say the Adaptoid goes up to 175, what happens then? You know what I mean? You put them at 175, then you're gonna tell me our builds, if we're at 150, that he's not gonna be hard. So you're saying that we don't need damage buff to beat that?
Yeah.
Just even the mission alone.
Yeah, if he goes up to 175, I guarantee you nobody's beating him. Everyone dies again.
Yep.
Everyone dies. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Then I think if they take damage buff away, then everybody would have to turn to Jarvis barriers and high defense at that point.
And they're taking that away.
And it would take forever to. You want us
him.
to be in there for like what, 45 minutes to kill him?
Man,
That's a long match.
Hell yeah, like I'm just saying, hell no.
and it'll be longer than that if they ain't all just great players. You're gonna have to be in perfect unison, just perfect synchronization with your whole entire team
to kill him and his clones.
Yep.
I'm just like, I mean, just even just the mission getting to him, the war bot, the everything. Like, there's so much that's difficult in that mission that without a damage buff, like, whew.
Good luck taking down that warbot with no damage buff. You gonna take it down, but it's gonna take you a while because he's got like steel armor.
A lot of reviving out there. Like Vietnam.
God, I think you would kind of get fatigued. You know what I mean? You'd get like, damn, you get fatigued after a while. Like you wouldn't even want to play it a second time or third time. You know, like the challenge in me, the gamer in me, would be like, I'm going to take this challenge and want to do it, but I don't think it's something that I want to be like, okay, I want to play it next time that damn long. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you one thing, when I did it for that long, I don't want to do it again. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that shit again because that was the way my build is. It took me forever, and I admit when it was like, okay, I kind of started getting bored or maybe even tired. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I completely understand.
Yeah, they gonna have to do something.
And the completion rate for the beating the Adaptoid is already low, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Monica was not enough when she first came out.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's so funny watching her get clapped in one shot now. You know what I mean? Right before like it becomes a game. The game is, can you clap her before she can put her shield back up? You know what I mean? That's what it became. You know what I mean? And you can do it when she drop that shield, clap her, and you can win. You know what I mean? I think it becomes fun because you have to find ways to entertain yourself with this. Because I don't think, in my opinion, whoever wrote that shit, man, had to be fucking. They don't farm. You know what I mean? I don't think they farm. I really don't. Because anybody that farms regularly or plays this game regularly, I believe that they don't put in the work. Let me ask you this: what do you think? What do you think that it's really Crystal Dynamics talking and not, a regular person talking, or even saying that? What do you think Crystal Dynamics would think about that? Do you think they would take damage buff away? I mean, they already did it with Techion.
So they want to lose more of their player base doing dumb shit?
Right. Yeah. It ain't out of the realm of possibilities. I tell you that because to me it seemed like they'll do it. And to piggyback off what y'all said about Monica, remember Hulk was one-shotting her. They nerfed it. Hulk done been through, I don't know, way too many nerfs. And what a really...
Well, I mean, I don't know if they probably did nerf it, but they can still be done though. Like it can still be done, but they had to find a different way to get there. You know what I mean? That was like they had to do a different build because I seen Fear Fear could do it today. You know what I mean? I've seen him do it like last week. He knocked her out of the shield real quick. But my whole point is, I think there's a different way. If they take damage buff completely away, what does that do to Thor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
'Cause I'm telling you right now, just the way my build is. I mean, that means, as I said earlier, you'd have to take away like major artifacts. So the non-stone lethal will is now what? Out of the picture?
Bye bye.
oh
You
yeah,
know, that's just what? Like, but you give me Kamoyo beads that nobody else can use this shit. But well, you know, like,
God.
it just doesn't make any sense.
and then don't forget about Thor Warrior Fury. It gives you a buff.
Yeah.
And then,
Yes,
and
it does.
what else gives you a buff? Kamala gives you a buff.
Yep.
I think Hawkeye gives you a buff. So, oh no.
Yeah. I just
Love
think, I
that
don't
Hulk
know.
outfit, by the
People
way.
complaining about it. But, I mean, I guess that doesn't really result into, like, one person's way of thinking. You got to think about it. There's a lot of bad players just in general. You know what I mean? Because I've been so far in the OLT, and then somebody would just start because of Thor left, right? Because of Thor left, then he wants to leave. You know what I mean? He wants to leave, and he'll
Yep.
veto it and
Yep.
go back. Won't go back to the Quinjet. You don't have to. Why don't you? Why do you have to go back to the Quinjet? Just exit out. You know what I mean? Like, why take us with you when we can beat it and you can't? You know what I mean? That's
No
not
main
fair.
menu, sir.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
right.
Man, I've literally had to. I've literally had to get on the mic and tell some people that I'll be like, look, hey, I got y'all. Just because Thor left, don't leave. Because they've done it. When Thor lead a team, they surely quit.
And now I ain't gonna waste my time because players just irritate me.
And like we were saying earlier, Fear, like they should do something with the Omega level threat. You know, if you lose a player, you should be able to pick one. You know what I mean? One should come in and replace. You shouldn't be stuck there. Because without a damage buff, what do you do then?
Nothing but get your shit pushed in.
Right? three deep on the super adaptoid with no damage buff. Yeah, have fun with that.
For real.
Yeah, it's not like the game is set up where you have to use your tactical brilliance to beat it. You know what I mean? It's like
He's just too heavily armored. Like, come on now.
Good lord, this guy alone. What the hell's on? He's not even moving. What the? Is he glitching? I just mauled him. Wow, you barely put a dent in him. What is this? There we go.
But apparently we're lazy players and we use damage buff as a crutch, and it's required for endgame builds to beat content like the old T when freaking the Adaptoid is motherfucking Superman.
Right? Beyond that, like he's a super adaptoid.
It's in the name. Super Adaptoid.
He's like Taskmaster but robotic.
You know who I think they tried to model the super adaptoid after? Amazo. Amazo
Right.
from DC.
Yep.
that's an
Same
interesting
powers
theory.
and everything.
I never thought about that until you said that. Yeah.
Yep.
He kind of looks like him. That is true.
Yeah. Sure do.
I mean, it's not even that. When his clones pop too, man, the
Oh
spamming,
my god.
the spamming that fucking goes on after that. Like, if you let me tell you something, because a lot of people sit there, oh well, Thor can one shot. I've seen Thor miss lots of times, and then they turn to shit after that. They turn to shit after that. After he loses heroics, that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I got to come back and, I'm saving them until we can get him some more heroics. So I have to make him some orbs to, so he can get his heroic back up so he can get back into his Bifrost mode. They're always, and I've been in situations where some certain Thors, like, okay, I missed my shot. They want to re-checkpoint. You know what I mean? They're like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, what happens when you miss your shot, and you fall apart? You know what I mean? That's not cool.
Yeah.
But I still try, and I still almost kill him, even if the timing was off.
Oh yeah, you stick it through. Part of the game. You know? Like, oh wait, redo.
Or his clones are too much, but I'm up here killing clones, but your damage is just so lackluster, you want to like keep reloading the checkpoint because you're an asshole.